Good morning. All good? Beautiful. Early spring morning and a nice fresh breeze. Beautiful. Yeah, I was doing a bit of reflecting this morning on on transitioning from five-a-side football to 11v11 and some of the challenges. I speak from my own experience. I'll speak from my own experience anecdotally, and you might see it differently. But this is sort of my take on some of the challenges that I sort of faced and what I learnt going forward were, for me, going from sort of playing mainly five-a-side with friends in sort of little local competitions and playing in the occasional local league, 11v11, not till about say 19, playing state league, 19, proper 11v11 in a structured environment. I think the challenge was adapting to almost a new game, so to speak, because you go from playing five-a-side, it's continuous, it's high intensity, to 11v11. It's not as intense, so to speak, but you've got obviously the difference in the size of the pitch as well. The small-sided game, a lot more contact on the ball. The passes are shorter and tighter. Passing range, you're not hitting a 50-yard diagonal, or your passing range is different as well. So there is that sort of difference. And for me, you're kind of more mastering the ball and those short, sharp passes and movement. Whereas 11v11, there's that sort of tactical mastery and discipline to know your position and that sort of spatial awareness. And it wasn't until I was training and I had a trial for a team called Halifax Town in the UK, roughly about 96 it was. And it wasn't until that point, the coach, really, really top bloke, really good coach at Halifax, really intelligent man, George Mulholly was called. He passed away a few years ago, sadly, and really, really top man. And I was there training for a couple of weeks. It didn't work out for one reason or the other. It wasn't easy because I was doing some work at a factory at the time and doing some extra training too, and sort of going there. And Halifax at the time were in the fifth tier, the old conference, the national conference as it's known now, the National League, and that fifth tier. And the training itself, I didn't find too challenging, because at the time I was sort of training with a really top conditioning coach, Chris Butler, top conditioning coach. He was also the conditioning coach of Wigan Rugby League at the time, and he was a stable of his own athletes. And I would train with him, and he helped me a lot, really. So the training itself, I didn't find difficult at all. But what I did find difficult still was to sort of be able to sort of translate that sort of small-sided game into like 11v11 situation. And George pointed this out at the end. He goes, you know what? And he gave me a lot of encouragement. He said to me, he goes, you got a good first touch, good athleticism, good speed, good awareness. It really gave me a lot of sort of confidence. Really did give me a lot of confidence for someone to say that. He goes, and he said to me, we don't have any opportunities to sort of take on at the moment, but he said, keep going. You've got something. And he told me that he felt that in five-a-side you could see my ability, but sort of translating that required that sort of tactical awareness. So what I did after that is I actually signed up to do a course, some coaching courses with the FA at the time, to try and help get my head around, because I didn't have any sort of official coaching growing up. So I thought, let me just get my head around, tactical awareness. I mean, I'd done sort of courses before, prior to that, but I felt I'm going to sort of delve a bit deeper and learn more and watch a bit more. And I felt that was quite useful to sort of get my head around that spatial awareness, that sort of the tactical element of sort of playing that 11v11, which is almost like a world away, at least for me. And I felt at that point, the realization that, five-a-side games and five-a-side football, I've played futsal as well, by the way, in the Sydney League as well. I've played futsal as well, and that was obviously different to five-a-side. That's another story for another day. But the whole point being here is it is that sort of difference, and I suppose that's kind of stayed with me, that sort of awareness, whenever I've been involved in sort of performance coaching. Thereafter, I've sort of always sort of had that awareness that there is a sort of a difference, and being able to adapt it, because you've got the tactical mastery obviously of sort of 11v11, but five-a-side's a whole different ball game. But that's the sort of way I see it. You might see it differently. It'd be always great to get your input. It's always great to get different perspectives, but it'd be great to see what your perspective is if you sort of found the same thing. We're going from, say, five-a-side, going from, say, five-a-side, and then trying to go into 11v11, so to speak. It's a different ball game altogether. But it's always interesting to see different perspectives. So it'd be great to hear your take on it.